All right, group four again, Sam and Jessica. Um, Chapter 9 discussion scenario. Our scenario was examine the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. Your district has two teachers who are married and are expecting their first child together. The baby was born normally, the baby was delivered normally on April 27th. Discuss the number of days that both parents qualify for under FMLA. Do they both qualify? Can they take them simultaneously? Can the mother use hers, followed by the father using his? So, the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA, is a law. It's an act that provides a certain employees with up to 12 weeks of unpaid job protected leave per year. It applies to all public agencies, all public and private schools, and companies with at least 50 or more employees.
So and actually, while I'm doing some research, I found that the FMLA, that act, had actually been introduced to Congress numerous times, starting in the 80s, until it was finally passed by Congress and both signed into law by the president in 1993. There's a few qualifications that you have to meet to be eligible for FMLA. You have to have worked for your employer for at least 12 months. During the past 12 months, you have to at least have worked 1,250 hours. And then, as Sam had said, the location that you work at has to have 50 plus employees within a 75-mile radius.
And then what would qualify for the medical part would be the birth or care of a newborn, which is what our discussion is about. Adoption or foster placement, care for an immediate family member or members, medical leave if unable to work due to a serious condition. So basically just pretty serious medical conditions or newborn babies or stuff like that. So in our scenario, both of the teachers work for the same district. They just had a baby. The number of days that both parents would qualify for, supposing that they do work for at least 12 months, 1,250 hours, and all the things that Jessica just said, they would qualify for 12 weeks combined. So it wouldn't be both of them would get 12 weeks off. It would be they would share the 12-week leave.
Yep. So the answer is yes, they do both qualify. They cannot take them simultaneously. So it's kind of like they're sharing one leave. So just one person at a time can take the time off under FMLA. And so they can kind of do that in any conjunction of split up, however they want to work it, as long as it adds up to 12 weeks together or less.
If obviously if they worked for different districts, they could both take the 12 weeks. The mother could take hers and the father, or vice versa. But in our scenario, that's not the case. So 6 weeks each, I think. Now, as an
6 weeks each,
administrator,
or oh, sorry, I was
no,
just saying 6 weeks each, or they could, it could be 10 and 2 or 9 and 3, whatever combination they wanted to do, as long as it just didn't add up to more than 12 weeks together.
right, perfect. As an administrator, it would be, I mean, it'd be tough, obviously, because you want your teachers in the building, you want the students to get the highest quality education they can. And, studies show that the number one driver of student achievement is teacher quality. So it'd be tough having your teachers take time off, but at the same time, you want your teachers to be happy and you want them to be able to, care for their family and their newborn baby and take the required time off. I know Jessica has kids. I know my wife has a baby, and it would have been really, really tough not to be able to take time off from work to be there with the baby, with my wife, with, our new family. It would have been impossible, really. It would have been really tough.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. And I guess one thing is you could hopefully, if it is for the birth of a baby, obviously not all FMLA is, but at least with that, you have notice and you can hopefully kind of plan ahead and start looking early for a long-term sub. I know sometimes it's possible to get a retired teacher who substitutes to be your long-term sub. Or I know the school district that my husband works for, they actually just had an employee start maternity leave just, I think, last week. And they were able to find not a retired teacher, but somebody who had been a teacher, moved away from teaching, and now just primarily full-time substitute teaches and various schools around the area. And they were able to secure him for the long-term sub position for this teacher. So while he didn't teach that particular subject, he does at least, have a teaching degree.
Mhm. And when my wife had our baby, I was lucky enough, my mother had just retired like 2 years before and got her sub certificate. So she was able to fill in all the time, anytime I needed to take a day off to be with the baby, which was a lot. It was a lot. So I think that's all we have. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope, I think that covers it all.
I think it's pretty straightforward. So until next time.
All right.